Welcome, my amazing viewers. Thank you so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you are connecting from. If you are joining me from Africa, from Asia, from Europe, from America, from Australia, any part of the world where you are joining me from, I really do appreciate you. Please kindly subscribe to my channel if you are not subscribed. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you, and remember, today we have come once again to bring you information on things that are happening in Nigeria. It is not all well anywhere. It is not all well. A lot is going on, and we cannot be silent. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter what they think. We will continue to say it the way it is. Yes, we will continue to say it the way it is. We will continue to preach the gospel and say exactly the truth and nothing but the truth. We cannot allow them to change the story. They are trying by every means possible to change the story, but we will not allow them. We will not allow them. They can try as much as they can. They can never succeed. They cannot succeed. Because we know what we are saying, we have the truth on our side, and we will continue to speak the truth. It doesn't matter what anybody is thinking. It doesn't matter what anybody is saying. We will continue to bring out the truth and nothing but the truth. Don't be distracted. Don't be distracted. Share the videos when you see the video. If it is the video from the Biafrans, video from the Dudua, share it. Let it go like wildfire to people. That is the only way we can take charge of the media. The conventional media and the international media have been hijacked, as you all know. The conventional media and the international media have been hijacked. They cannot tell our story. They cannot tell the truth. They will always try to be politically correct, and they will always try to twist the truth. They will make us, who are the victims, the oppressors, and we will not allow that. That is the reason why you have to use every platform you have to preach the gospel. There are a lot of propaganda going out there. A lot of propaganda, not one, not two. And we cannot be silent about all this propaganda. That is why you have to speak up now more than ever. If it were when we were here with Mazi and Kanu, you know Mazi and Kanu, trust me, Mazi and Kanu cannot be silent when things are going wrong. And we cannot allow anybody to change out of media except him. And now that he's not here with us, we will continue. The foundation that he has laid for us, we will follow up this foundation to the last. We will follow you up, and we will never allow them to hijack the story. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter how they go about it. We will continue to speak it out and say it the way it is. We will not allow them to take charge of it. We will not allow them. You can see all the propaganda they are coming. Some people are bringing out some old videos that Nnamdi made during his speeches. As you all know, Nnamdi is not just another man, but very spiritual. He has always said it that he is not an idol worshipper. He worships Chukwuka Abiyama, which is the Almighty God in heaven. For those of you who do not know what Chukwuka Abiyama is, the God of creation, the only one God. That is what Nnamdi worships, and that is why he is never afraid and he's not ashamed. He speaks up boldly about Chukwuka Abiyama, which is the Almighty God in heaven, the God of creation, and he has always strategy. And that is why every declaration that Nnamdi makes whenever he's speaking comes to pass. He's not just speaking as an ordinary man. He's not just speaking as if just trying to entice you, but he is making a prophecy. And whenever he prophesies, it comes to pass. That is how to know a true prophet. A prophet that says something and it comes to pass. That is a true prophet. And you can go back and check. Everything that Nnamdi has said has always come to pass. That is why when Nnamdi lays course on you, on live program, you are finished. Those are one of the charges they are giving him, that Nnamdi sent people to go and kill. Nnamdi never sent anybody. The only person that Nnamdi asked and talked to about vengeance is Chukwuka Abiyama. Nnamdi asked Chukwuka Abiyama for vengeance every time against those who are fighting against Biafra, against those who have taken the life of our brother Ikonso. He asked for vengeance for Ikonso. He asked for 2,000 men for vengeance on the head of Ikonso. From Chukwuka Abiyama, not from man. Nnamdi is spiritual. Just like when he told you about Nigeria becoming Somalia. What are you saying today? So for those of you who are pushing those propaganda, you came very late and you cannot succeed. You are late. You can't succeed because Nnamdi is preaching the right message. And for those of our brothers who are losing focus, I can see some of our brothers who are grieved, and because of that, they are losing focus on the struggle. Don't lose focus. Don't lose focus. Some are now concentrating on those who betrayed Nnamdi and those who did not betray him. This is a diversion. This is a distraction. Do not waste your time on thinking about those who has betrayed Nnamdi, if they are insiders or outsiders, if they are Igbos, the Yorubas or Hausas or whatever. We do not want to know. We don't care. There are people who are in charge of that very situation. IPOB have a senior group. IPOB have a formidable force, a formidable group who are able to unravel every mystery. That is their own duty to do. For you and I, it is not our duty to begin to think of who betrayed him or who did not betray him. But the most important thing that you have to know that is out there is that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was betrayed in Kenya. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu went to Kenya to attend a meeting on behalf of IPOB, on behalf of the Biafrans. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu went into Kenya safely, attended his meeting. After his meeting, on his way going back, that was when they waylaid him. So, the betrayal happened in Kenya. Kenyans know that he is around. The Kenyan government know that he is around. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is more popular than many presidents you can talk of in this world. It's only few presidents in this world that you can compare to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is one of the most popular person you can know in this world. That everybody that sees him know that he is the one. Wherever he entered, people know that he is around. For Kenya to come out, Kenyan government to come out initially and deny that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was not in Kenya or was not abducted in Kenya has indicted them, and they will surely pay dearly for what they have done to our supreme leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Even when we saved the father of that very president in that Kenya, we saved his father when his father was fighting for this same thing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is fighting for. They wanted to murder him, they wanted to hang him, but Dr. Nnamdi went on his behalf, secured his release, and he was brought to Biafra land and secured in Biafra land for some time. This same man has come against our supreme leader. That is the most important thing to know. This is the most important thing those of us who are fighting for freedom, Biafrans, need to know. Whatever propaganda going out there that he was betrayed by an insider, he was betrayed by a Biafran, he was betrayed by an Igbo, is irrelevant. That is nonsense, absolute nonsense. And for those of you peddling those information, you should desist from that and face what matters. What matters now is the message of freedom, which Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have led for us. We have to carry that message of freedom to the four corners of the earth and never allow them to hijack it. It doesn't matter what anybody say. The only thing you have to focus on is in the report that is being brought by the lawyer of our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Barrister Ejiofor. If you want to know what is going on, wait for the broadcast of the barrister of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor, who has been doing a great job, giving us the information that we have to hear. Do not put us into any diversion. Do not put us into any distraction. Close your ears to those people who are bringing those propaganda of who betrayed him and who did not betray him. The only people that we know that have betrayed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the Kenyan government. They were the people that handed him over to the enemies. They were the people that abducted him. They were the people that tortured him. They were the people that held him for 8 days. And no other person should be talked about. Every other in-house problem, if we think there is anyone, IPOB is capable to handle it. Let us not be talking about that issue on social media. That is a distraction. If you want to know what happened to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the strategies and what is being followed, I want you to listen to this very broadcast that the lawyer of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made. Listen to Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor, what he had to say about the abduction of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and what transpired. Let us watch together.
In the course of this discourse, first of all, there was a clear collaboration between the Kenyan government and Nigerian government. I'm happy now that they are denying the fact that Nnamdi Kanu was arrested in their place and also handed over to Nigerian government. But I can assure you that by the time we finish with them at the international court, they will never remain the same. What's important at this stage, and I've already made known to the world, is that he was arrested at the airport on the 19th day of June 2021. And he was taken to an unknown residence. That is a fact. He wasn't taken to a custody, and they recognized the official custody of the police over there. He was taken to an unknown residence where he was subjected to inhuman treatment. Nnamdi Kanu was tortured, maltreated, and beaten, mercilessly beaten. So these are facts within our knowledge, confirmed by him to us. So after spending 8 days in their custody, illegal custody, they now beckoned on the Nigerian counterpart to come for him. And by the time they came, Nnamdi Kanu was apparently unconscious at the point they came to pick him. He was unconscious. He was near lifeless at the time they were about taking him to Nigeria. So, and consequently they brought him here. So now, to tell you the level of their conspiracy and the desperation to get him jailed at all costs by enemies. They brought him here on a Sunday, and the federal government is fully aware that I'm the lead counsel to Nnamdi Kanu. And there's a charge against him before the court, which has been subsisting has been going on. Because after invasion of his premises on the 14th of September 2017 by the Nigerian military and soldiers, who killed over 28 persons in his house, and by act of providence he was narrowly escaped, we filed an application before the court for an inquest into what transpired in his house on the 17th of September 2017, for court to inquire as to what happened in his house, what led to his disappearance. And we are still in this process, because that is fundamental. This is a person that has expressed to the world that is ready to come for his trial on October 14th, 2017. He wasn't planning to leave the country. He wasn't planning to run away from the trial. He was ready to come for the trial on October 14th. The matter was stated for commencement of trial. Then on September 17th, his house was invaded. So to tell you that the government was not ready at the time to prosecute him, because they have no evidence to establish even the charge preferred against him to even date. So they went after his life. Now it's compelling on the part of the court to inquire what happened to this person I granted bail, what led to his disappearance. Then surprisingly, on the 28th of March 2019, when the matter came up for shorties to show cause why they will not be committed for contempt, why they were unable to produce Nnamdi Kanu, that was the proceedings of that day. The court gave an order revoking his bail. Then we said no, because the court should be bound by its records. We said no, and we filed an application to get that vacated. Since 2019 to date, the matter had severally come up before the court, the same court, and the court was not inclined to hear this application to vacate the order. And the worst is that the federal government has not filed any response to this application before the court. They have not filed a response in counter to application to get that vacated. They were not interested. What they are interested is to how to get in Nnamdi Kanu at all means available to them. So now he was brought into this country on Sunday after being detained, maltreated, subjected to all forms of inhuman treatment, and inflicted with severe injuries on account of handcuff that lasted on his hands for over 4 hours till before he was brought to court. And you can see him on handcuff in court on that day. Those injuries are still there, and a number of medical issues he's having today on account of what was the kind of treatment that was meted out to him. So they took him to court on a Tuesday. Labaran, who is the counsel that was in court on that day representing federal government, is fully aware that by the safer age of 4 is the lead counsel in this matter. And I've been in court with him in all cases affecting Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB. He never extended the courtesy of informing me that that my client was arrested, was abducted, because in this case wasn't arrested. So but when we get to that bridge, we'll cross it. He was abducted and kidnapped from Kenya and brought into this country. So now he didn't feel it confident, didn't see it confident or didn't appropriate to inform me that my client was arrested and has been brought to court on Tuesday. So that shows there's a collaboration between the government in question, as we stand today, and the people who were appearing before them. Because if at all there was any element of iota of transparency in what they're doing, is compelling on the part of the AG, not the lawyer representing the Federation, to inform me that they are coming to court on Tuesday, so I can come to court and see my client. I don't know what happened, and this is quite from what happened. So on Tuesday, they took him to court, and the court asked them, "Where is Barrister Jofor? Is he not in court? Was he not informed?" They said no. They arrested him and brought him to Abuja on Sunday, and he's called today. So now there's an underlying fact that my client will not get fair trial in that court. That's settled. The issue of fair trial has been taken away by this collaboration. But we keep on watching. We are going to see them in court. So that is what happened as of today. I've seen him and he has given me every information and detail about what transpired in Kenya, how he was arrested, how he was taken to a non-destination, and how he was maltreated, how they nearly killed him over there. And it's obviously from what he told me that it was at the behest of the federal government that they were doing those things. So until when they beckon on them to come, these are against an obvious infraction to all international laws and treaties. So, but at that level, we're addressing it. We're going to address an international court at that level. So let me concern myself what's happening in the country. So it's obvious from every indication that my client will not get a fair trial in this court. Obvious. Until when the contrary is established. And now, Nnamdi Kanu was remanded in prison custody. Let me underline this fact. Long before he was granted bail, he spent over 2 years in custody before he was granted bail. The court itself is aware that he was in prison custody before he was granted bail. And at the point he was in prison custody, Nnamdi Kanu never at any point in time made any effort to leave the prison without the judicial process. Now they remanded him in DSL custody, where they made it near impossible for his relatives. He's under a debilitating health situation. He has a medical condition that needs to be addressed as quick as possible, because it's only a living that can face trial. So this I can stop at this time. You will recall that on the day he was taken to court, that was last week Tuesday, Nnamdi Kanu was allowed to address the court because I was not in court. I was not in court. So that enough shows you that's the problem. Nnamdi Kanu is not a lawyer, and he has no competence to address the court. He must address the court. Because if needful was done, I would have been in court to address the court, and also apply to the court that he should be remanded in prison custody. So that is a clear violation of his constitutional right to a fair trial. So because I was not in court, he was allowed to address the court. So that shows you that there is more to it than meet the eyes. Because they have, Labaran has my number. The office of AG has my number. They have simply put on call a call across to me that they've abducted, whatever they call it, they classified it as my client somewhere in Kenya and brought him to here. And I take him to court on Tuesday to continue trial. Then I'll be in court on Tuesday. And also convince the court on the reason why he should be sent to prison, to correctional center. But in this case, the court allow him, which is abnormal, which is unethical, allow him to address the court. Why should court be asking him why he run away when I'm not there? We have an application before the court which contains his affidavit on oath, deposed before a commissioner for oath in Israel, stating the facts of what transpired in his house on September 14, 2017. How he nearly escaped death. How he was ready to come to court on 14th of October 2017 to face trial. Then this are before the court, and court never entertained it. Court never entertained it. These are record black and white before the court. Court has never entertained this application before the court. So I will be craving the court or at any adjournment for the court to hear it, because it's fundamental to his fair trial, to the right. The court will hear and understand what transpired in his house. That's very fundamental. Then the court is now allowed to address the court on these facts, which are already before the court. So that's area why I'm entertaining fear that he will be granted a fair trial in this court. So now, coming to what's happening in court, the matter has now been adjourned to 26th of October, to 6th of July. Let it be clear to everybody, he never jumped bail. Because if the federal government was serious about prosecuting Nnamdi Kanu, if they are serious about prosecuting him, they will allow him to come to court on September 14th, 2017, October 14th, 2017, to face his trial. Are you telling me that soldiers that invaded Nnamdi Kanu province are not from Abuja? Are they acting where they acted under the instruction of someone in Abia State? The answer is no. They came from Abuja and have the instruction of the federal government to go to his house. So and they are fully aware that Nnamdi Kanu was scheduled to be in court on October 14th. And in one of his broadcasts prior to the invasion of his premises, he told the world that he's coming to court with over 1 million members of IPOB. He informed the court told the world. So when they allow him, if I have any case against him, to come to the court on October 14th, probably at the end of the proceedings they will arrest him. So he never jumped bail. This is a person, okay, assuming without considering to the fact that they succeeded in killing him on 14th of October, on September 14th, when they invaded his premises, will we be talking about his trial today or not? The answer is no. Because it's only a living that can face trial, and nothing more. If he was abducted, they succeeded in abducting him on that day they invaded his premises and killed over 28 persons, civilians or armed civilians, then we shouldn't be talking about what they're saying today. So, but by act of providence, he will never escape being killed. So these are people who are fully aware that he was scheduled to be in court on October 14th for his trial. And in Abuja here. So why can't you wait for him to come to court if I have any case against him? So, and we have supplied the court these facts. We have supplied the court circumstances that led to his disappearance from court. We have informed the court and convincingly that Nnamdi was ready to start his trial. But for the fact that his life is under threat. So the court is under compelling obligation to listen to the applications before him. Let me say this to you, because it's important for us to inform you appropriately. And whatever I'm saying today to you today, I will furnish you with documents to that effect, black and white. Before the date slated for his trial, the federal government, acting through the Attorney General of Federation, filed an application to vacate his bail, to vacate his bail, right? On the premise that he has violated his bail condition. This application was filed in black and white and served on me. And I responded to that application because it's a matter for court to decide. We cannot at this stage, at that point in time, or probably during that period, determine when Nnamdi violates his bail condition or not. And also, I want you to appreciate the fact that I had also filed an application to validate their bail condition before they file their own. So this is a pending application before the court. The court to hear my application to validate his bail condition, hear the one filed by the federal government that he has violated the bail condition, and also hear the one I filed in reply to what the federal government filed, stating that Nnamdi never violated his bail condition. So they're supposed to hear those applications. The court is under a duty to hear those applications and make decisions.
After listening to Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor, the only thing that matters to you and I is how to secure the freedom of our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And the only way we can secure his freedom is to speak the truth, speak up at all conditions, at all weather, at every time, the true situation of the things, and continue to point out the important issues. All we need to know is the Kenyan government is responsible for the abduction of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Kenyan government is responsible and they cannot deny it. The lawyer of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor, have videos to show what transpired, have overwhelming evidence to show what transpired, and we cannot let go. Kenyan government must pay dearly for what they have done, for the betrayal of our supreme leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We will not let go of it. It doesn't matter how long it takes, it doesn't matter what they do. We will continue to fight till the end. May God bless Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the Ohamedike of Igbo land. May Chukwu Okike Abiyama continue to protect Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. May Chukwu Okike Abiyama continue to guide and strengthen him more and more. May Chukwu Okike Abiyama continue to guide and protect Sunday Igboho, save Sunday Igboho, guide and protect him wherever he is. May Chukwu Okike Abiyama continue to protect all those who are fighting for freedom in the Oduduwa land, those who are fighting for freedom in the Biafran land, those who are genuinely fighting for freedom in that contraption called Nigeria. May Chukwu Okike Abiyama continue to strengthen all of us. We will all see freedom alive, not in death. All of us who are genuinely fighting for freedom, we will all see freedom. And may Chukwu Okike Abiyama protect, heal, and continue to be with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu wherever he is. Thank you so much for watching, and remembrance. Bye-bye. See you again on the next video.